Have you ever noticed how some people have a presence so strong, so calm, that they shift everything around them without a word? They don't raise their voices, they don't chase, they just step back. And suddenly the whole dynamic changes. People grow uneasy. They begin to chase, to question, to reflect. Now imagine if you did the same. What if, instead of reacting on impulse, you chose silence? What if you stopped explaining yourself? Stopped being constantly available? Emotionally, physically, mentally? Something shifts, not just in you, but in the people around you. Because most people are used to controlling others through their reactions, their anger, their guilt, their fear of rejection. But the day you become still, the game ends. The mask they thought you wore no longer fits. Carl Jung once said, "Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to a better understanding of ourselves." So ask yourself, who gets uncomfortable when you become quiet? Who pushes harder when you retreat? Who becomes desperate when you stop responding? These are not just questions, they're mirrors. And what they reflect is how deeply your emotional availability has been used, sometimes even manipulated, to serve the needs of others. Every time you say yes just to avoid conflict, every time you respond to a message when you're drained, every time you try to explain yourself to someone who doesn't really want to understand, you give away a piece of your energy. And what's left at the end of the day? Exhaustion, frustration, and emptiness you can't quite explain. Why? Because you're giving too much of yourself to those who haven't earned even your silence. But this isn't about shutting out the world. It's about choosing yourself. It's about individuation. The process Jung described as becoming whole. This begins the moment you realize that silence is not weakness, that withdrawal is not escape, but power, that saying nothing can sometimes be louder than anything you could say. So now I ask you, how much longer will you let your emotions be dictated by others? How much longer will you dance every time someone touches your wounds? Maybe it's time to stop, to become quiet, to become unavailable. Because the day you do, everything changes. You were taught that being present, responsive, and agreeable is a virtue. But here's a truth few will tell you. Excessive availability is not love. It's self-abandonment. People who expect you to always be there don't necessarily value you. They value what you provide. And when that stops, so does their interest. You're not being respected, you're being used. And still, you stay. Because of fear. Fear of rejection, fear of being misunderstood, fear of being alone. But here's the paradox. The more you fear those things, the more you become controlled by them. And the more you become controlled, the less free you are. So today, start small. Pause before replying. Breathe before reacting. Step away before you're dragged into chaos. And most importantly, know this. You owe no one an explanation for your silence. The people who truly care for you will respect your boundaries. The ones who only valued your availability will call you cold, distant, or selfish. But that's not your burden to carry. Because being unavailable isn't rejection, it's self-respect. And the day you choose self-respect over people-pleasing is the day you begin to live freely. The silence will feel strange at first, even painful, but give it time. That silence will become your strength. And in that strength, you'll finally meet the person you were always meant to be, whole, unshaken, and truly free.